It's that time of the month once more, and you know what that means. Let's talk about some video games. Now, the month of March 2024 was my birthday month. So I kind of treated myself a little bit to a bunch of games I wanted to get in my hands. And first and foremost, this month's no-brainer was, of course, WWE 2K24. Now, I say it's a no-brainer because, I mean, you guys know I'm a big fan of wrestling. Hell, I'm wearing a CM Punk hoodie right now. But I own almost every mainline WWE game. At least I own all of the ones that have ever been released on PlayStation. So 2K24 is the yearly edition. I was going to go with the deluxe edition at one point because of, you know, the added bonuses you get with the deluxe edition. But I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan, so as much as this is the standard edition, to me the Cody cover, it just looks so cool for 2K24's deluxe edition. I am a big fan of the game so far. I've been playing it nonstop. I am going to platinum it this year because I try to platinum the games every year, trophy-wise. Last year I kind of gave up because the stuff for my GM mode and the faction war stuff was killing me because of just how monotonous it was, if that makes sense. But this year, they overhauled a lot of the stuff I didn't like about last year's game. For one, Faction Wars is completely different, and it's a lot more playable to me, if that makes sense. Because previously, if you guys are familiar, before we get into these other games, Faction Wars was always like 8-man tag matches. And this year, it's actually kind of like its own mini, like, story mode. Like, you pick your faction, but you have one-on-one matches, or like different like roadmaps of how you get to face the faction of that node, and it actually is a lot more fun. I do enjoy it. I am glitched out at the moment because in the My Rise mode for the female character, I beat Trish Stratus in one thing, part of the story. I know it's a little bit of spoilers, but it's an optional side quest. But then the game always crashes, so I'm waiting for them to release a patch on that. But on to the next game. Another series I'm a big fan of, the Like a Dragon series, previously Yakuza, and this actually just came in moments ago because it was on sale this weekend and it made me have to pick it up because this game is like brand new. You guys saw, I think in the last pickup video that I got Like a Dragon, the Man Who Lost His Name. Well, I did end up getting the other new addition to the series, and that is Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. This game literally just came out like a month or two ago, and it was already on sale for $40 on Amazon. So, of course, I had to get it. I know this goes back to like the RPG elements of the game, but it is critically acclaimed kind of across the board, so I'm not too mad about that. The next game, I had been waiting to get a discount on for a while, and I thought I got a good deal off eBay with it, because it is a relatively newer game, but it's getting harder to find, oddly enough, around me. And I got like a $15 discount on it, but then by the time like shipping and stuff was added, it ended up being regular price, and here goes me thinking I got a deal when I literally just paid regular price for the game. But with that being said, this is Star Ocean, the second story R. I've wanted this game since it came out because of the art style. I have played quite a few Star Ocean games. I know the older games tend to get better reviews than the newer games in terms of just how they play, how they feel. And the second story R is a remake of the game on the PlayStation 1 that people loved back in the day, that I remember always seeing the cover for and never actually buying the game when I was in the game stores. So it's nice to get this like 2.5D version of that game that I know I'm going to enjoy. Now let's talk about PlayAsia. So I placed this order on PlayAsia in January, I believe, because they had a deal going on that was like 300-400 assorted games, and it was a bunch of different games. So I had to pick up two that I had never heard of, and one, well, it's a game I've wanted, but I never could find like an English version of it, and apparently it has English subtext, so it is playable, and that is the Phoenix Wright trilogy for the Nintendo Switch. I bought the Ace Attorney Chronicles thinking that it was Phoenix Wright on the Switch, and I haven't even played those yet, but I know they're very closely related in terms of story. I think the Ace Attorney Chronicles is like the prequel to Phoenix Wright or something like that. But it's nice to now add this to my collection. This version is the Japanese version, it looks like, because of the Sero rating, and all the text is in Japanese. But apparently, from what I was reading, there is an English language option, which, yeah, because I can see in the screenshots there's English in the screenshots. So hopefully I'll be able to play this. If not, I guess I'm learning Japanese. The next game I picked up from PlayAsia is called The Bridge Curse: Road to Salvation. I know not anything about this game, but apparently it's an East Asia soft release. It also is a PlayAsia exclusive for the physical edition. It comes with a certificate, a soundtrack, an art book, a manual, and the game. And I just thought, for what it's worth, even if this is a not good game or a short game, it'd be cool to just add to the collection. And that's kind of the same thing with the next one. This game is called Senses Midnight. I know, again, nothing about this game, but I feel like these games might be ones that I hold off on until the Halloween time, because they kind of seemed horror themed, and I do like that they come in the bigger boxes. And the art style is just super kind of cool, very Japanese looking with the art style with these two. If you see, this kind of reminds me of a Fatal Frame looking art style, and this just kind of reminds me of a weird anime, but all for it, right? Now let's go into the retro collection for this month, because I got some good ones. So let's start with the PlayStation 1. I picked up 2 Disney games that I needed, right? It hit me at one point that I used to rent these games all the time from Blockbuster as a kid, but yet I don't have them in the collection. And why don't I have them in the collection? Well, I ended that question by adding them to the collection, of course. Now, the first game was a lot cheaper than the second game, which is funny because the second game, of course, is the one I have more nostalgia for. So the first game, we're talking about Tarzan. I remember playing this game so much as a kid, and it always reminded me of Donkey Kong Country to an extent. I had a lot of fun with this game when I was younger. I remember even having the ROM of this on my PSP back in the day. But, yeah, based on the 90s movie, okay. Now, this second game, I used to rent all the time from Blockbuster. I also had the PC version of this game, which if I could have found that, which I think it's long lost in time, I would have never bought this. And, well, it's one of my favorite animated Disney movies from the era, and it's Hercules. This movie I loved as a kid. This game I loved as a kid. And I'm excited to, finally have it back. I can't wait to actually play through both of these. One more time, 20, 30 years later, right? Now, last month was very Dreamcast heavy. And I think I mentioned in that video that there was one game I was trying to get that month that just never fell within a reasonable price tag. Well, shortly after making that video, it happened. So this month, I was able to add to the Dreamcast collection Power Stone 2. And, with that being said, I do have nostalgia for Power Stone 2. I used to play this game so much as a kid when my friend would bring it over. So it's nice to finally have my own copy of it, right? I don't know how much more of the Dreamcast I'm going to collect for, because these games are getting Saturn level of expensive for some of them. The only other game I think that I would really want in the collection at this point is Cannon Spike, and that's getting super up there in price. But let's talk about some other games I have some nostalgia for, because as much as I thought I was done collecting for the Wii U, I got 2 very special Wii U games this month, and I'm going to group them together because they're a part of the same series, and they are the HD remasters of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Now, I was hoping that Wind Waker was going to be the regular cover, not the Nintendo Selects version, but it's fine, right, because I have the original GameCube version of this. And I really just had always seen the screenshots of how much better that game looks like in HD, and I just really wanted to be able to play it and see it, because I have such fond memories of playing the GameCube version. Not when it first came out in 2003. The first time I played the GameCube version was in 2006, 2007. Didn't really like it. Only for 8 years later to pass. And in 2014, which is funny because 2014 was 10 years ago, and that jump from 2006 to 2014 feels like a lifetime, but yet the last 10 years feels like that. that's growing up for you. But 2014, I went back and played this game on the GameCube when I started collecting for the GameCube, and fell in love with it. Fun fact about my GameCube version that kind of rolls into this a little bit. I have the Game Boy player for my GameCube, and I had long thought that I lost the disc for that, and those discs go for so much money nowadays. Only for me to know, like deep down, I was like, I know I put this somewhere because I know I lost the case a long time ago because it was like that little mini case, and I was like hiding it in the back of other games, only to pull out the original version of Wind Waker, and the disc was behind that. So, you know, good things happen sometimes, right? As for Twilight Princess HD, I'm excited to play this again, too, because I don't know how much better this will look in HD. I have the original Twilight Princess for the Wii. It was my first ever Wii game that I actually bought before I ever bought the system. I was meaning to get the system, and I always kept coming up short when trying to buy it, because you remember how hot the Wii was when it was in demand, right? When it first came out. So I bought Twilight Princess at Walmart, I remember, just as a further incentive to not give up in getting my hands on the console. I loved Twilight Princess as a game, though. Like, I know it's divisive to some people, but I love the elements of it because it had a cool story to it. You got to turn into the wolf, but then there was also oddly like elements of Ocarina of Time with going back to the Temple of Time and stuff, and I really loved it. You know, so I'm excited to say that I think my Wii U collection is done now, and I'm excited to actually go back and play these two classic versions of Legend of Zelda, especially since, you know, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are a whole different type of Zelda game. So that's my March pickup video, guys, and I want you to let me know what you thought of the pickups for this month. Please leave the video a like, subscribe if you haven't yet, so you can check out all the other videos I put up all the time, especially the monthly game pickup videos. As always, thank you for watching. Game on. Have a good weekend. See ya. Bye.